Questioning Everything with Garrett and Adam.
In social spheres, you've got traditional Christian conservatism on the right, and you've got almost normal people on the left.
Oh, sorry.
No, I'm not kidding you.
No, I agree.
Like the vast majority of people. And now this is fiery water, because what's dominating in today's culture is actually different than that. But like, say 20 years ago, you and I, no question whether or not we would have been left. 20 years ago, no question. No question, dude. Look at my hair. I got long hair. You think you're neutral, but a person on the right would have been like, no, trust me, buddy, you're a leftist. Like, you're like a step away from Marxism to them, right? You're radical, you're a hippie.
And so I would say the same thing to a hardcore right. Like, I'd be like, what? Fundamental Christian? Like,
yeah, you know,
like what?
They like use a ruler to get their hair parted perfectly.
Sleeping in separate beds when you're married, like, huh?
Sleeping in separate beds until you're married would be like, yeah, so...
Like,
right?
not even, this.
Whereas we would be like, well, how do you know what you're getting?
And hold on,
right?
let me just make sure.
Simple.
Like, this political structure is like Western, right? This isn't obviously. This is American.
This is Western.
I know I may sound stupid. Just bear with me, okay?
It's Western.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. What about
but the left and the right now you've got extremes, right? Where the extreme left is really kind of like postmodern Marxists, people with really, really extreme ideas of like that. It's the left used to be liberal and the right was conservative. The left is no longer liberal, even. Like, they've actually literally gotten out of liberalism, and now the right are the only people who even really encompass liberalism. By liberalism, I mean like the thing that made all of the neutral countries in the world good, the thing that makes us good, democracy, and stuff,
is now being split.
It's actually the left is moving outside of it now, and the left is starting to encompass a far more radical version of the left, to the point where people like you and me, who are like kind of left, you know, we were into skateboarding, we're into rock and roll, we're
motorcycles.
You've done more
chicks.
Yeah, you've done more drugs than somebody that's a right winger. Right? Like a traditional right-winger.
What are you talking about?
We've literally lived lifestyles of what you would consider in the 60s for sure to be like total like bohemian left, right? But we would be perceived in social media today as probably being right-wing.
Well,
like,
that's the problem.
You're first of all, you're male and you're white and you've got tattoos. So, and you're like not opposed to like joining something. What'd you say?
What?
Or
I joined a men's group.
Men's group. Okay, so let's just say, we don't have to name it. Let's just say a men's group. Now you're even a part of a men's group. So
but it's for men that have been emotionally like.
Yeah, but you're like center. You're right of center to just to the assumption.
I get
most
it.
People.
Okay, but what I'm gonna say, like, to me, it's like it's a men's group about empowering men with healthy masculinity.
Which it doesn't exist.
Let's stop.
That literally does not exist. If you're like a radical feminist today,
I know.
That's literally does not exist
to me, man. Like, men have been like. There's a lot of men that have been,
but feminism
beaten down emotionally, dudes, and
feminism began as a liberal civil rights movement, and it is now ending outside of liberalism. Outside of the ideas and the tenets of liberalism, they're really getting into the Marxism. Same with the BLM.
Okay, wait, what is Marxism's, dude?
Marxism's communism. Marxism's early Russian communism, right? So Marxism's even before communism in Russia became really prevalent, because then it became more Lenin, Stalin thing. They changed the ideologies to their own purpose, and Marx even at the time wasn't super happy with it. But Marxism is essentially the core of communism, redistribution of wealth, the idea that the people should be the benefactor,
right? And that isn't so bad if you think about it. But corporations,
it's not so bad at all.
Capitalism isn't necessarily working. Like, let's say. Capitalism, I think that everyone should have the right to make a good amount of money and do their thing, but don't you think that at some point...
And they have it in capitalism.
Yes, but don't you think there should be a point where you make, like, where you have a giant freaking house, you own 4 cars, a private jet, you can have anything you want, any girl, anything, you've done it, you've made it. Isn't there a point now where it's just, okay, like, let's put it in cruise control and give back to someone who's suffering, man.
The thing is,
like, communism's good in some ways, and capitalism.
That's not true at all. I totally disagree.
I don't really know
I'd say that the funny thing is that people communism. Go back to 1900, right? Communism's let's go back to, or even after that, like the Bolshevik thing, or if you go back to the root of communism, and you say, let's just say communism replaces capitalism. From that point on, we literally wouldn't be having this conversation. We wouldn't have these Yeti mics or these computers.
Why not?
Because this is a result of capitalism, right?
Okay,
mics didn't even exist.
A balance.
Microphones like this didn't even exist. USB didn't exist. The only reason we have computers and USB and all this sorts of shit is because capitalism actually rewards ingenuity. It rewards invention and moving forward, and it's really a technological revolution that is fueled by the opportunity to profit from it. And if you take away that opportunity to profit, there's no incentive to do it. And that's what communist countries don't get. And if they try to get communist, the first thing they're going to lose is all the incentive to innovate. Not entirely though, because you just said that part of communism was giving back to, was distribution of wealth. But there's no wealth.
Okay, so you need to integrate.
That's the problem.
Okay, I know.
You just took away all the wealth.
I understand.
So it doesn't matter.
I'm saying there should be wealth, but it should be at a point where we're not in extreme wealth and extreme poverty. I'm saying you should have the concept of giving back and spreading the wealth out. So yeah, we should be able to go out there and achieve and make those microphones and make those computers. But there should be a point where, like, I don't need billions and billions of dollars while other people have nothing.
That's great. So don't have it.
Advertisement loading.
Hey, Garrett.
Hey, Adam.
Did you know that we have a Patreon?
No, I did not.
Really?
No.
Well, it's great. You can click the lickin'. You can
finger licking, clicking, licking.
You can lick the clit in the description and check us out on Patreon. Become a champion.
You can lick the clit in the
Philomath.
Lick the link.
A sophist. A philanthropist. Warrior. Or...
Do it again.
Yeah. Cut.
Cut.
Perfect. It's a one take.
You know, I'm